Nothing is more aggravating than being unable to shift individual clips around in your Camtasia project, or for that matter, shift all of these clips together. You try to move the clips, they don't all move, like this one. But you want them all to move. Then they're all out of alignment and you end up cussing and fussing. If you have a group of clips that you want to move, you can move them all together and get rid of that problem. What you have to do is to hold down the Shift key and then select the first clip in every track, like I'm doing right here. So I selected the first clip here, the first clip in this track, the first clip in this track. Oh, and I better select the first clip in this track. So you have to make sure to do all that. Then all you have to do is to click down and move them all together, and they'll move. This is really handy if you want to do something like I usually do. Normally, I don't insert my intro screen until after I've done the body of my project. So if it looks like this right now, I'm going to have to take this and move it all over. And then what I can do is I can go in and pick my intro screen, insert it in there, and then hold down my Shift key, select the first clip in each row, and then pull them all back over. And then they seal up right there. So that's all you have to do for that. If you want to move just one clip, then it's not that big of a deal. All you have to do, like this one right here, is a subscribe button, and it appears right there. So if you just want to move this subscribe button, then all you got to do is to click on it and then just slide it over. If I would want to put my subscribe button somewhere else or something like that, or for that matter, if down here I have sound clips, if I wanted to take this and line up the sound clips, then I could just click on that one and it moves over. Now keep in mind that, well, let me point out something about each track. In this track up here, you have two clips. If I click on this one, it's going to move it back and forth by itself. If I click on this one, it's going to move back and forth by itself. This one right here, it will move back and forth by itself. And this one will do the same thing. But if I were to click on this one, it won't move. And the reason why it won't move is if your clips are abutting up to other clips, this clip right here is directly next to this one, which is directly next to this one, and directly next to this one. The only clips that are really going to move is this one on the end. So if you want to move this whole string of clips, and you click in the beginning, and you try to move them, no matter how much you try, you're not going to move them. So what you're going to need to do is to make sure that you click on all of them, and then when you click on all of them, you'll be able to move this whole string by itself, like that. And then you can move it back. But if you want to move the whole thing, then what you do is you want to hold down the Shift key, click the first clip in each line, in each track, and then you'll be able to move the whole thing and back. So remember that. You want to move the whole thing, hold down the Shift key, click on the first clip on each track, and the whole thing will move. If you want to move each clip individually and there is no other clip next to it, you can just click on the clip and move it back and forth like that. All I did was click on it. I didn't hold down the Shift key like that. This one will do the same thing because it's not right next to it. If these two were together, then you would have to hold down the Shift key. But this one will move by itself because all I did was click on it, and then I was able to move it. So that's a little tip about moving your clips around so you're not pulling your hair out whenever you're doing this. Now that we've taken a look at how to move our clips around, the next thing we want to look at is what happens if you want to make your clips shorter. There are two ways that you can do this. One is by simply selecting the clip like this, and then taking the end and then just moving it back. And as you can see, the start time and the duration of the clip is shown right down at the bottom next to the clip. So if you have a good idea about how long you want your clip to be, then all you have to do is look at the duration, and then you can kind of figure that out. So that's pretty easy right there. Another way that you can do it, let me undo that. Another way that you can do it is to do it with the playhead. What happens is, notice that the playhead is sitting right here. Then you have this little button over here that's called the split. This split, if you hit it, will cut the clip right where the playhead is. So if you just want to cut off the end, what you would do is to just move the playhead over where you want to cut it off, and then go over here and then hit the split. And then let's move the playhead off of there, and as you can see, now you have two different clips. So to get rid of that end that you didn't want, all you need to do is to select it and then hit your delete key, and it will vanish. So those are two ways of looking at it. Generally, it kind of depends on how short I want to make it. If I want to cut a lot off, I'll use the split button over here. If I just want to make it a little bit shorter, then I'll just select it and then move it like that. So anyway, that's how you do it. This is from one of my old videos. It's already posted, so it doesn't really matter, if it's messed up, and I can always do edit undo. So that is how to resize your clips. Okay, here we are back at my president's video, and now I'm going to use it to show you what you can do if your audio is too loud, or no matter how you want to adjust it. I mean, if it's too loud or too soft, it's the same thing. A lot of times, though, we get background music that's too loud, and nothing is more annoying than watching a video and the background music is too loud, especially if there's somebody talking and you can't hear the person talking because the background music is too loud. Now, what we do in this case is, let's just select one of these. Down here, what I have on this video, this is the president's video, and right here we have background music. That's what this is down here. And you can see it will even tell you the name of it. That's kind of not important right now. But what you're going to do is you're going to select the one that you want to adjust. So I'll select this, and this selects all of them, which is fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter. And then what you'll do is notice that it has this green line right here. And this will tell you how loud or how soft it is. This green line is up farther than this green line because this green line right here is the background music, and this green line right here is a clock ticking. So what happens is I give a present, guess who this president is, and then there's a countdown clock that ticks. Well, Originally it was really, really loud, which was kind of annoying, so I altered that. But if your background music is too loud, all you have to do is to take this green line and then just click on it and then move it down. That's all there is to it. And then you can just adjust it however way you want. So here we go. And then you can do the same thing over here. This is music 2 with this green line. And you can move it up and down and get it whichever way you want. Another thing that you can do as far as audio is to make this fade in and make this fade out. So in order to do that, we have to go to something that's called audio effects, and that's right here. Now, if it doesn't appear on your menu, don't panic. That just means it's just not there. And what you're going to do is hit more. So if you hit more, then that will give you additional things that you can use. But fortunately for us, audio effects is here. All we have to do is hit the button. And right here, you've got fade in and fade out choices. So we're going to click on this and then drag this so that it fades in. And then if we want to fade out over here, let's just pretend we do. We really don't. But if you want to fade it out, well, actually, you might want to do it on this one. Fade it out, then you just drag the fade out down. And notice that these little anchor points appear right there. These anchor points are good because what you can do is if it fades in too fast for you, you just take this anchor point and drag it over. And you can make it fade in a little bit more slowly, and then take this anchor point and move it over here and make it fade out a little bit slowly. Once the anchor points appear, then when you move this up and down, you'll notice that it tells you the percent that your audio is being adjusted. Notice it went down to 55, 52%, and so on and so on. That's kind of handy if you have another clip that with the same music as I have over here. And so I'll need, if I'm going to adjust this to the same loudness as this, then I'll need to know what percent that is. I mean, you can do it by ear, that's fine. But what you would have to do is to get the anchor points, and the anchor points will then tell you what the adjustment is. This right here, I would have a fade in and a fade out because this is canned music, and the canned music wasn't long enough to go all the way to the end of my video, so I had to put in the clip again. Well, what you're going to have to do in this case is to fade it out and then make it match up. So anyway, so what you would do is to fade it in. So then this clip fades in with this clip, and you can make them match up by ear so that one goes in the other and it doesn't sound like it's just chopping from one piece of music to another. I just didn't have a clip long enough, so I had to use several clips. And if you go down here, you'll see that I ran out of music again, and then I had to use a clip again. So that's how you make audio adjustments, make them softer or louder or whatever you want to do, fade in and fade out. Alrighty, here we are back into Camtasia, but this one isn't my president's video. Actually, this is one of the screen records that I did for this project. And what I wanted to do is to show you something else about audio. When you do a screen record in Camtasia, it will video your screen, and it also records your audio. Now, with me, I don't really, not that I don't really, but I never edit my audio inside Camtasia. What I do is I export my audio out, and then I edit the audio in a program called Audacity, and then I import it back in. So if you want to do that, this is how you do it. Now notice down here we have the clip, and it contains the video and the audio, and it's grouped together. Before we can export the audio out, we've got to ungroup it. So you just right-click, you select it, and right-click on it, and then what you do is you pick the separate audio and video choice, which is right here. So click separate audio and video, and notice that right here, down here, you have your video, and right up here you have your audio. Now we don't want to use this audio, so now that we've separated it, we can export it out. What we do is we export out the audio only. So we come up here to export, and then go down to export audio only right here. So we click on that, and it will give you a place to export it to. So I always do everything on my desktop and then I move it around later. I mean, that's kind of a personal preference. So let's title this audio example. So, because I'm not going to edit it, I'm just going to get rid of it. Okay, so we save. Okay, so now it's exported out. Notice that the audio, though, is still on your timeline. So now what we're going to do is we can get rid of this, or we can bring it back in and then get rid of it. Sometimes if you bring the finished product back in, then it thinks these two are the same things and it won't let you do anything. So, but what I'm going to do is let's pretend like I already edited my audio, and so you're going to just hit the plus, import media, and then you'll see that I have two audios here. I have audio example and then this one. Let's just take this one. It doesn't really matter at this point. I'm not going to be playing it. I'm just going to show you how to do it. So let's pretend like this is the audio file you worked on and you edited and it's beautiful and all that stuff. So now we're going to open it, and it comes back in to your media bin, which is where all your media is stored. So now what you can do is you can click on this and then get rid of it. So we click on it and delete, and then it goes away. Now we can take our edited and beautiful audio and pull it down here, and then we can bring it in, and we've got our edited, updated audio. If you want to group these two, you can do that by selecting them both, and then right-click and pick Group. So we hit Group, and it will group them. So now we're back to where we were before, but with brand new, cleaned up audio. If you use Camtasia, I hope you find these tips useful. Stay tuned for more Camtasia tips as I learn more and more about the program myself. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel to help it grow. Press that button. It doesn't cost you a thing.